Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Level-Headed News. This is your host, Brenda. I have 7 articles in this episode for you, and all the URLs are in the description of the video for your convenience. This is about the immigrants, migrants, and some educational news in here that I thought I would include this morning. This is the final episode for you. The first one here is off of gatestoneinstitute.org, and it says Merkel's Migrant Deception. As it now turns out, Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban was right about a secret deal all along. In a government report published last month by a German newspaper, and I'm not sure how to pronounce this because it's in German, I think it's Rheinenstieg Post. Experts recommended an annual intake of up to 300,000 migrants a year for the next 40 years to counter lower German birth rates. As they embark on a bizarre social engineering project on a continental scale, members of Germany's political class evidently do not see the need to consult their own electorates. Instead, they apparently believe in creating irreversible facts on the ground and giving voting rights to migrants permanently residing in Germany. Never believe anything until it has been officially denied. People used to say in days of Soviet Union. Today, and the same seems to be true for the European Union's migrant policy. When German Chancellor Angela Merkel engineered the EU's Turkey deal on migrants, it was widely described by the European politicians and the media as a breakthrough. Merkel and other EU leaders agreed on offering a down payment of 3 billion euros to the regime of Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan in return for its promise to stem migrant flows. In December of 2015, nearly 4 months before EU-Turkey agreement was even formalized, Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban accused Chancellor Merkel of working on a secret deal with her Turkish counterparts. Orban was quite specific in his claims, apparently certain that Berlin would soon reveal the details to the public. Beyond what we agreed with Turkey in Brussels, there's something that doesn't figure in the agreement, Orban said in a December 2015. We'll wake up one day, and I think this will be announced in Berlin as soon as this week. What we have to take in 400,000 to, or I'm sorry, that we have to take in 400,000 to 500,000 refugees directly from Turkey. Prime Minister Orban was ridiculed for his claims. European Commission Vice President Franz Timmermans dismissed Orban's allegations of a secret deal with Turkey as nonsense. Bloomberg News reported the German and French outrage at Orban's allegations at the time, saying France and Germany are working together to manage the flow of migrants, which is a challenge to everyone. French government spokesman Stephen Le Foll told reporters in Paris Wednesday. Last weekend, the union reached an agreement with Turkey, and Orban should be aware of the deal since he was there, Le Foll said. A German government official requesting anonymity because EU's Turkey talks are ongoing, said Orban's claim that Germany made a secret deal is false. As it now turns out, Prime Minister Orban was right about a secret deal all along, according to the latest revelations made by the German newspaper Die Welt. Chancellor Merkel, along with Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte, had agreed to accept 150,000 to 200,000 Syrian immigrants from Turkey to the EU without consulting other European member states. Die Welt reports on March the 13th of 2017 the following. Contrary to previous information, German Chancellor Angela Merkel, CDU, and Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte made concrete commitments on a legal refugee quota during the negotiations on refugee deal between the EU and Turkey. Merkel and Rutte promised directly to bring 150,000 to 200,000 Syrian refugees to Europe from Turkey each year. The plan agreed upon by Merkel, Turkey's Prime Minister, Davutoglu, and Rutte was presented by the following day as an unexpected suggestion by Turkey. The heads of state and governments agreed on a voluntary intake due to humanitarian reason in the fiscal document of the summit. The exact number was not revealed to the European leaders by Merkel, Davutoglu, or Rutte. The three heads of government reached an understanding on the number 150,000 to 250,000 through a gentleman's agreement. This has been confirmed by several individuals involved in the negotiations. There is a plausible reason why Merkel and Rutte are still hiding these migrant figures from the public. Both Rutte and Merkel have to face their voters this year and are looking at real prospect of anti-mass immigration parties making strong gains in the March and September general elections, respectively. Regardless of any secret dealings, however, the idea of importing hundreds of thousands of immigrants to Europe fits seamlessly into what seems to be Merkel's agenda of transforming the German and European demography. In September 2015, before the migrant crisis could even fully unfold, well, unload, I think I was right the first time, but it says unfold, Germany's Vice Chancellor Sigmar Gabriel declared that country could absorb up to 500,000 migrants each year. In a government report published last month by the German newspaper, and there it is again, Post, boy, I'm probably butchering that, expects to recommend an annual intake of up to 300,000 migrants a year for the next 40 years to counter lower German birth rates. According to these official estimates, Germany will have to take in 12 million migrants to keep the current size of the German population, 82 million, stable through 2060. As they embark on a bizarre social engineering project on a continental scale, members of Germany's political class evidently do not see the need to consult even their own electorates. Instead, they apparently believe in creating irreversible facts on the ground. They are even proposing a contingency plan to thwart a potential backlash from the population. In case of any future national referendum, Germany's Federal Commissioner for Refugees and Migrants, Aiden Ojuguz, I'm guessing that's how that's pronounced, recommends giving voting rights to migrants permanently residing in Germany. Considering the ironclad support for Merkel's refugees welcome policy in German media and across the political establishment, there seems to be a consensus with Germany's political establishment to keep mass migration open, no matter how high the price. For Merkel and Germany's political elite, the victims of Islamist terror attacks across Germany or the hundreds of women who were sexually assaulted in Cologne Central Square on New Year's Eve are merely roadkill on the Autobahn leading to their promised multicultural paradise. The next article I have for you is off Breitbart. And let the hamster catch up to me here. The wheel is a spinning. Well, there he goes. It says migrant crime and violence soars in German states. And if we can get him to roll it on up here on the page for me. Authorities in 2 German states have expressed concern over official figures showing a huge rise in migrant crime, with the number of violent attacks having almost doubled in 2016. Refugees really entered into a crime scene last year, said Baden-Württemberg State Criminal Police Office, called the LKA, President Ralph Michaelfelder. We are very worried about the rise in violence by asylum seekers, the police official added. The comments come following the release of figures which revealed 95.5% spike in the number of physical attacks carried out by asylum seekers and migrants. Around 60% of the assaults take place in asylum accommodation, but another 40% are carried out among the general public. This group of migrants are also heavily represented among people caught for theft and drug offenses, according to this year's statistics. But they can now be found as suspects of crimes in almost every field, according to the police official. Of a total of 251,000 criminal suspects across the state in 2016, 107,417 were foreign, with 25,379 of these being asylum seekers and refugees. Syria was the most frequently seen country of origin in the latter category, followed by Gambia and then Afghanistan. The number of crimes committed by immigrants rose 57.8% from the previous year, a development which the State Interior Minister Joachim Herrmann described as worrying. The increase in crime in Bavaria in 2016 is mainly due to foreign suspects, especially immigrants, the minister said. There had been 3.3% overall rise in the number of crimes statewide, the figures adjusted to remove offenses like illegal immigration. The number of homicides in Bavaria increased by 15% in 2016. Carried out by asylum seekers rose by 93% to 3,495 cases. Of thefts which occurred across German state, 42.8% of suspects were of foreign origin, almost 1% rise from the previous year. Berlin's Senate launched a formal inquiry to find out why migrants are overrepresented in the city's police crime reports compared to Germans. According to Germany's federal police, the influx of newcomers from the Third World since Europe's migrant crisis directly led to an increase in crime within their jurisdiction. The next article is off BizPac Review. Historic turning point. Saudi Arabia backs Trump, praises sovereign travel ban, more winning. Repeated claims from the left that President Donald Trump is anti-Muslim took a big hit Tuesday after his meeting with Saudi Arabian Deputy Crown Prince. Prince Mohammed bin Salman Abdulaziz Al Saud, boy, there's a mouthful, who is also his country's Minister of Defense, said the meeting marked an historic turning point in U.S.-Saudi relations. Relations had undergone a period of difference of opinion, a senior advisor to Crown Prince said in a statement after Tuesday's meeting, according to Bloomberg Politics. However, today's meeting has put things on the right track and marked a significant shift in relations across all political, military, security, and economic fields. The statement also addressed the president's temporary ban on immigration from select Middle Eastern countries, a measure that liberals and Democrats have criticized as anti-Muslim. Saudi Arabia does not believe that this measure is targeting Muslim countries or the region of Islam. This measure is a sovereign decision aimed at preventing terrorists from entering the United States of America. President Trump expressed his deep respect for the region of Islam, considering it is one of the divine religions that came with great human principles kidnapped by radical groups, he said. Ironically, Sunni Arabic leaders felt shunned by former President Barack Obama, despite his perceived overtures to bend to the will of the Middle East, Bloomberg reported the following. Sunni Arab leaders are embracing Trump with praise the president isn't finding from the other U.S. allies in the world, reflecting an eagerness to reset ties after feeling shunned by President Barack Obama, who crafted the 2015 nuclear deal with their Shiite rival Iran. Saudi's statement said Trump had a great understanding of the bilateral relationship. The prince shared the same views on the gravity of the Iranian expansion moves in the region, the advisor said. The prince also acknowledged that there is a plot against the United States of America that has been planned in those countries in secret by those groups that took advantage of what they assume a security weakness to conduct operations against the United States of America. In recognition of the plot's existence, he pledged his country's support for any measures to protect the United States of America from expected terrorist operations. The Trump administration echoed many of the prince's sentiments. The two countries announced their determination to strengthen their cooperation in the economic, commercial, investment, and energy fields with the aim of realizing growth and prosperity in the two countries and global economy, the White House announced in a statement released on Friday. Analysis as to why Trump received such glowing praise from Saudi Arabia. And there is a video here called Why Trump is Getting Praise from the Saudis. You can pull up that article and take a look at that. The next one we have here is off BizPac Review, and it says University Glossary states that only whites are capable of racism. A glossary of popular social justice themed terms and some not so popular, published by the University of California, Davis, plainly asserts that only white people are capable of racism. According to a glossary drafted by the school's LGBTQIA Resource Center, racism is the systematic subordination of marginalized racial groups with little social power in the United States by members of the agent dominant privileged racial group who have relatively more social power. The list of marginalized groups is extensive, encompassing Indigenous, Native American, Black, Chinaks, Asian, Pacific Islander, and non-white Latinx folks, non-white Middle Eastern folks, etc. Whereas the only dominant privileged racial group mentioned, and hence the only group capable of exercising racism under the definition, is white. The glossary offers definitions for some rather bizarre terms as well, such as Ursula, which apparently refers to some lesbians, particularly butch dykes, who also participate in bear culture. Bear community, as the guide explains, is a part of the queer community composed of queer men similar in looks and interest, most of them big, hairy, friendly, and affectionate, noting that such communities aim to provide spaces where one feels wanted, desired, and liked. The LGBTQIA resource centers also provide its students with a list of words that hurt, warning students against using terms like ugly because it can be connected back to white supremacist, ableist, sizist standards of beauty. Other populist phrases such as you guys are also deemed offensive, since such a saying apparently erases the identities of people who are in the room by generalizing a group of people to be masculine. Additionally, the research guide discourages use of terms like fat ass or I'm being so fat right now, even when used in self-depreciating manner, because they demean and devalue fatness, fat bodies, and reinforce harmful assumptions that fat people are gluttonous and are fat because they have no restraint on food. Such terminology also implies that there is an acceptable amount of food to eat and anything more is disgusting, or that enjoying food too much is disgusting, the guide elaborates. Campus Reform reached out to the university for comment on the guide, but did not receive a response in time for publication. Wow. I mean, you can't just make this stuff up, can you? The next one here's on Fox News US, and it says, New York dropping teacher literacy test amid claims of racism. At a time when the United States has plummeted in the global rankings of educational standards, one of the country's largest states is poised to scrap a test designed to measure the reading and writing skills of people trying to become teachers. Citing the fact that an outsized percentage of Blacks and Hispanic candidates were failing the test, members of the New York State Board of Regents plans to adopt a task force's recommendation to eliminate the literacy exam known as the Academic Literacy Skills Test given to prospective teachers. The move to do away with the test has been met with mixed reviews. Supporters of the exam say that eliminating it could put weak teachers in the classroom, while critics argue the test is confusing, redundant, and a poor predictor of who will succeed as a teacher. Without a doubt, not every given test is going to get us there, said Leslie Sudak, a professor of education at Pace University who served on the task force that examined the state teacher certificate tests. The literacy test was among 4 assessments introduced in 2013 and 2014 school year as part of an effort to raise the level of elementary and secondary school teaching in the state. Years of complaints from education reformers about the caliber of students entering the education schools and instruction they received there. A December 2016 study by the National Council on Teacher Quality found that 44% of the teacher preparation programs it surveyed across the country accepted students from the bottom half of their high school classes. The education reformers believe that tests like New York's academic literacy skills test can weed out potentially lousy teachers. The test, however, came under intense scrutiny for their alleged racist or racial bias, after just 46% of the Hispanic test takers and 41% of Black test takers passed it on the first try, compared with 64% of white candidates. Plus, critics said the test's $131 price tag is too steep. Despite a ruling by a federal judge in 2015 that the test was not discriminatory, faculty members at educational schools say a test that screens out so many minorities is problematic. Having a white workforce really doesn't match our student body anymore, Sudak said. Kate Walsh, the president of the National Council on Teacher Quality, said that the reason that Blacks and Latinos don't score as well as whites on the literacy test is because of various factors like poverty and the legacy of racism. Walsh says that the symptom on other standardized tests as well. There's not a test in the country that doesn't have disproportionate performance on the part of Blacks and Latinos, Walsh said. In implementing the exams, Walsh added, New York had become light years ahead of other states in its teacher certification regime. New York put together a suite of testing products that really got at the lack of rigor in teacher prep, Walsh says. The academic literacy skills test consists of multiple choice questions about a series of reading selections plus a written section. A practice test available for $20 on New York State Education Department website features John F. Kennedy's inaugural address as one of the reading passages and asks questions like this one. In which excerpt from the passage do Kennedy's word choices most clearly establish a tone of resolve? Ian Rosenblum, the executive director of the New York office of the Education Trust, a nonprofit that advocates for high achievement for all students, called the literacy test a 12th grade level assessment, something a high school senior should be able to pass. Several education professors told Associated Press the test doesn't measure anything that isn't covered in other exams students must take, including subject matter, certification tests, the SAT, the GRE, and tests that are part of their coursework. Charles Shum, the director of education policy at the Manhattan Institute, a conservative think tank, is a strong supporter of raising the bar for teachers, but he said he's not a fan of this particular literacy test. Shrum took the $20 practice exam and thought it was a poorly designed test with multiple choice questions that seemed to have more than one correct answer. I do agree that it's not a great test, Shum said. I found the reading comprehension section to be kind of infuriating. I only got 21 out of 40 right. The U.S. has for years been slipping in the world ranking for education. The Program for International Student Assessment, or the PISA, which provides educational rankings based on international tests taken by 15-year-olds in math, reading, and science, ranked the U.S. 24th out of 70 countries in reading. The country's scores for science and math were even worse, coming in at 25th and 40th, respectively. Highest achieving students in the world, with its teenagers coming in on top of tests in math, reading, and science. Man, all I can say is homeschool your kids, for crying out loud. They're going to have teachers in there that can't read or write. It's no wonder these kids are coming out dumber than a bag of hammers. Okay, the next one is off of BizPack Review. It says California elementary school is training new snowflakes, bans the game of tag for roughness. A California elementary school is training the next generation of snowflakes. Goldridge Elementary sent a letter home to parents informing them that the school has banned the age-old game of tag from recess because it's too rough. Speaking to CBS 13, Folsom Cordova Unified School District and spokesperson Daniel Thigpen said the note was sent to the parents of a small group of students after some were injured in altercations. In this case, kids were getting too rough, so the school told them to stop playing those games, he said. It's not uncommon for a school to enact specific recess rules to address specific behavior problems. The new rule does not appear to be too popular among students and parents. I don't really like it, Mallory Giddens, a fourth grader, told CBS 13. I mean, I don't really play tag, but I don't think it's fair to everyone else that plays tag. My principal, he doesn't want us to have tag at school because they touch too hard, she said. Sometimes they push people over and my principal doesn't want anyone getting hurt. I don't personally agree with it, parent Sam Hammer said. It's something we all did as kids and I never seen any harm come from it. But at least one parent approved, saying, I know that it's based probably kid by kid. Katie Eves or Estevez said, it's really up to him what he probably feels is best for the school. Mother of four told CBS 13, as long as it's being monitored and people are being safe, I feel it's okay. Social media had a field day mocking the school's new rule. One says, a school in California banned the game of tag, too rough. Typical liberals, they don't like something, so they take it away from everyone. Another one says, today a scale was banned from a college campus gym and tag was banned from elementary school. Toughen up, snowflakes. Ah, yes, the scale that was banned from gym because it triggered people. One tweets, so if tag is banned, then we should stop right away or disband the NFL, NBA, baseball, soccer, boxing, and most other sports. Another one says, California banned tag at recess. What happened to our country? Remember when we used to be tough? Another one says, California schools just banned playing tag at recess because it's too rough. Are you effing kidding me? Another one says, California schools just banned playing tag at recess because it's too rough. Let's see, they had that one in there twice. Well, they liked it so well, I guess. The next one says, just saw where a school district out of West banned the game of tag. I played war with sticks and had WWF matches. And the final one says, a school in California has banned kids from playing tag at recess. Can we make kids tough again, please, and stop softening the next generation? Well, I don't think so, because the next article here is off of Dispatch Review. Love that segue. Company creates a snowflake test for job applicants, and the word is spreading. Now, I know this isn't really education, but snowflakes are snowflakes. Job applicant for Connecticut-based marketing company have unique snowflake test to pass before being hired. The silent partner marketing firm is taking on liberal snowflakes in an effort to weed out hundreds of applications they have received. The company has developed a survey to vet potential employees by asking key questions about themselves. I need to filter, try this again. I needed a filter to sort through all of that, Kyle Reyes, CEO of Silent Partner Marketing, said on Fox and Friends on Wednesday. He explained that he was looking for employees who would fit the culture of the company and the clients they represent. Some questions sure to trigger liberals include, what does America mean to you? Someone who's not proud to be an American would be disqualified from a job at the company, Reyes noted, adding that applicants should also be pro-Second Amendment, as many in the company carry firearms and represent clients who do as well. Questions on the test also ask job seekers what privilege means to them and when was the last time you cried and why. Reyes elaborated on his search for employees who do not have a sense of entitlement, as many snowflakes do, and are not expecting things to be handed to them. Emotional people are not a problem, Reyes said, as long as he does not have to provide them with a safe space at the office. I want people who have a sense of community, who have a sense of heart, who aren't afraid to wear their hearts on their sleeves, Reyes said, but who are able to make an argument and stand by it. One of the test questions asked applicants how they feel about the police. The marketing company has pledged to donate $500,000 worth of services to police and first responders, Ray shared. We work very, very closely with a lot of police departments, and so you need to be comfortable and willing to support the men and women who serve and protect, he explained. Ray's revealed that other companies have offered him significant amounts of money to design a similar test for them. Some some creative requests have come in the form of snowflake-themed gifts like snowblower and large cutout snowflakes. The company website explains that their organization is based solely on family, faith, and forward thinking. Political correctness be damned. We are who we are and have what we have because of greater good, the description states. That's all I have for you today. If you like what I'm doing here, give it a thumbs up. Don't be afraid to let me know. And share it on your social media so everybody gets to hear the news. And don't forget to subscribe. That way you'll stay informed. Have a great day.